I also started in the corporate world, but I started in finance and with possibly one of the biggest corporations in the world. I started with Unilever, which is an FMCG company. I was in a graduate management scheme, which gave me really great exposure to all aspects of the business. I think a really telling thing I discovered about myself and what I enjoy over the years there was that, similar to Emma, I really didn't like how bureaucratic and sometimes slow paced decision making could be. And I think the most exciting times there were when we fast tracked decisions or when a team really pulled together to deliver a result. And so the startup world was always very enticing because of the much shorter turnaround times and the greater challenge that it brings. I think being part of a big corporation, there's always this nice knowledge that's always going to be a big safety net if something doesn't work. I'm sure that's very comforting for many, but I found it quite demotivating. And I really like the idea of working with a client where they pour their heart into a product or service, and it's going to mean the world to them if it succeeds. Yeah, and I think in terms of what I bring to Shoestring, I mainly work in the background in the operations and finance side. I often find there's a lot of opportunities to apply my experience working with brand teams, marketing and sales, and the big corporations, bringing that lens to our clients who are starting up or scaling up and helping to understand what's a cost-effective marketing strategy that will deliver the best ROI for them, advising marketing schemes that actually will be effective and deliver results in the time frame that they're looking for. One of the frustrations I always had with finance is that we were never in the weeds. Like we were always hovering above or outside and always the last to know. But I think it does bring some benefits, especially in a digital marketing agency's perspective, because it means I have the ability to step away from all our clients and all the work we're doing and hone in on what's the most important. I spent a long time doing financial reporting at Unilever, and that's when you really zoom out and summarize multiple brands and industries into like one document. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's something I still enjoy applying to our clients and what we do at Shoestring. I think whether, as much as I said I hated the bureaucracy and like structuredness of the corporate world, I feel like I've always ended up trying to bring that to any sort of startup or agency I worked in. So before I joined Shoestring, I was working with a lead generation agency, it's a lead generation startup in the US. And beyond my job scope, I just noticed that they were just completely disorganized when it came to their finances and operations and couldn't easily tell us the client profitability. And even though as a new hire, those were the questions that I was instinctively asking, figure out, what the gross margin of the client I was working on was, and were there any improvements that we could implement to make it more efficient? What was the profit per month, etc. So I quickly inserted myself into or created the finance role for myself with that company, which actually, Alex, I worked with you on. So it's a fun
Mhm.
full circle connection. And I think I've brought the same to Shoestring, where I've gone, look, we don't need a 50-page financial report every month, but there are definitely benefits I saw from working in a big corporation and best practices, which I recognize that are pretty easy to apply and can make a really big difference to decision making and on how we direct our company strategy. So I think that's been really valuable. One thing that I think was quite challenging to first adapt to was the fact that the buck did end with me, especially at the start when we were all working elbow deep in client work. If there was a mistake or a client was annoyed or any questions, there was really no one else to shoulder the blame by ourselves. So that was a shock, but I think quite like a thrilling shock. Wow, like I really am directly contributing to this. Like I'm responsible for this, and there's no way I can pass this off to anyone else.